I'll, like, get down on myself or something like that, and I get mad, and I'm like, Hannah, I'm like, this is not a real problem. Like, get over yourself. Like, this is not a real problem. I used to tell myself that all the time. Like, probably depressed for, like, 2.5 years, like, straight. Like, bad, too. And, like, I would literally be like, Hannah, like, seriously, get over yourself. This is not a real problem.
That was Hannah Geidish, a junior here at West Liberty University studying music technology and a member of the West Liberty volleyball team. But what many don't know is that she also struggles with anxiety and depression, and has for years now. Mental health illnesses are a reality that many people have to live with every day, including athletes. For some athletes, sports are an escape, a place to leave worries behind and just focus on their sport. But sometimes it can elevate those feelings of anxiety or even be the cause.
Well, in high school, sports were kind of like my, like, escape from, like, my mental health issues, and it was kind of like, yeah, it was like my relief from dealing with that. And when I got to college, it kind of like switched a little bit, and like sports became what I started to become more stressed out about, and then so it kind of like bled over into sports and stuff. So I don't know, it kind of like flip-flopped.
In my 4 years, I saw people older than me and younger than me and people in my class go through it. So everything from anxiety to eating disorders to depression, like I've seen it across the spectrum, and like everyone, even if it was the same thing, treated it differently.
That was Meg Bush, the graduate assistant for the West Liberty volleyball team. Before she became a GA, she played at Slippery Rock University for 4 years.
It's definitely different. As a player, you see your teammates on and off the court. You see them before preseason when there's no stresses, and you see them, like, you hang out, like you see like the different sides, like you know where the highs and lows are. I think kind of as a GA, you kind of really only, like, you see each other in passing, but like you definitely have more of a watching role in practice where you can pick up on more of the little things, whereas I feel like as a player, like you're focusing on the drill, maybe not so much, does she look weird right now? Like I can't tell, like she just messed up. Is she freaking out or what? Like no, the ball's coming. So as a GA, like if I'm not involved in the drill, I can definitely see people's, like their body demeanor or their facial demeanor, like after a good or a bad play, or like where do their eyes look bugged out of their skull, like it's just so completely, it's different. So it is, I wouldn't say necessarily harder or easier to identify it, but like you see there's different sides of it, I guess I would say.
I think the key thing is every individual is different, and every individual, even though the same situation happens, everybody, you could still feel differently than that same person.
That is head volleyball coach Kayla Mull. She's coached at West Liberty University for 6 years now and has seen multiple cases of mental health issues in her athletes, but doesn't shy away from addressing and supporting them through their struggles.
Like if you feel sad, that person could feel sad, but it could feel differently. Or maybe they're not feeling sad, maybe they're feeling anxious, maybe they're, so I think that understanding, I try to come into that concept first, and then maybe when I'm sitting down talking with somebody, I think it is like almost like a case-by-case thing, because I think some people might be kind of open to talking about it a little bit more than others.
She said that I was brave for like taking charge of my mental health and stuff like that, and like she was so supportive, and like I just didn't really expect that. Like not that I thought she'd be mean about it, I just didn't expect her to like really like kind of like comfort me and support me in that way. I just thought that she would like, I don't know, like send me to the counselor and like let somebody else like do it. But she was like, actually, she really made sure I was okay.
You know, maybe some players don't even think that it's an issue. Maybe they don't even know at that time. And it takes them to sit down and start talking and say, hey, maybe, you know, this isn't a problem. Maybe I'm okay. Like, you know, maybe I'm not, you know, I feel like sometimes I think maybe they're broken or something, and that's not the case. Like, they're not. It's just they have something that's a challenge in their life that maybe some people have or don't have. How can we help them to try and take the next step to handle it as best as they can?
This is so much a part of health. As as we're dealing with the athlete.
Mel is an athletic trainer here at West Liberty. Before becoming an athletic trainer, she received her degree in psychology and has taken courses specific to sports psychology during her training.
We are required to cover psychology with respect to sports. So I had a whole psychology course dealing with these issues, recognizing eating disorders or when an athlete was having other problems. I've got a great listening ear. My undergrad is in psychology, but I still don't feel confident all the time to have the time to deal with deeper issues that people can have.
Mel may be equipped with tools both from her degree in psychology and as an athletic trainer, but with having to take care of athletes from a physical standpoint, the mental health of an athlete can be pushed to the side. That's when the NCAA steps in.
Well, the NCAA does have rules and regulations regarding a lot of things, okay? And that includes like progression for making weight for wrestling. That's very carefully overseen, okay, so that we're trying not to get these guys to have an eating disorder where they're not eating and they're binging and then they're not eating again, you know, and they're not hydrating to make weight in order to keep them healthy. So the NCAA goes through a whole process of what Jerry has to do with regards to checking their body fat, checking their hydration, and then checking their weight. And then, you know, he sends those results in, and the NCAA has this formula by which they say, okay, he can make this weight by this date, but he can't go any lower. If he goes lower, he's not allowed to play.
You know, we can do a better job, you know, as an athletic department maybe to get that out there, but I also think, you know, what are the steps we can take to do that? Maybe outside of just maybe getting a newsletter from the NCAA or kind of like, hey, awareness day, maybe we can get some more structure from that. And then we can push it out that way. So I think we can take some better steps. As for what those steps are right now, I think I have to sit down and brainstorm and kind of think about it a little bit, but definitely think it's good that they're bringing that subject up like the last year or two.
But we're looking for trying to help them find their support network when they're going on past us, you know, and they're not going to be here and so on and so forth. We help them find people in their life that they can rely on.
You're gonna like gag and throw up when I say this, but it's Alex.
Alex is Hannah's boyfriend of almost 2.5 years, and he has been her support system through all her struggles.
He's like the most supportive person, like literally I'm gonna like start crying. But like he sees stuff in me that I personally just cannot see in myself. And it like if I'm like ever freaking out or like I call him or I text him and I don't know how, but he like talks me out of it, and like he gets me to like laugh or smile or joke about the situation when I really don't want to.
It's kind of a loaded subject, but definitely I think as coaches something we need to talk about with our student athletes is maybe in general, maybe I need to do a better job of that in general with the team, but I think if we're sensing that with players, we want our players feel open to talk with us and understand that like just because you're experiencing this doesn't mean you're the only one, and the next person could be feeling something different than what you're feeling.